Just another issue I'd like to ask you about too that came up in the debate last night is the welcome to country ceremonies. And Peter Dutton did say that he would like to see some changes when it comes to that. Just one more on the social issue. What sort of changes would you like to see on that?
Well, welcome to country ceremonies are very, very important, particularly at ceremonial occasions, and that's when they're most meaningful and often very profound and moving. I think the issue, though, is when they become performative, when they occur before, every sporting event or every meeting in an office. It does become a little bit ridiculous, and that's when they lose their meaning. We want to see welcome to country ceremonies performed at those ceremonial events when it is important, but at the same time we want to make sure that they are meaningful.
What's important and what's not, though, I guess, is where do you draw the line on what is important?
Well, that's a judge for that's a judge for the individual organisation. It's a judge for the individual organisation or the individual event organisers. But I think you and I have both been to meetings where there'll be a dozen people sitting around a table and each person decides to do an acknowledgement of country before they speak up. That is kind of performative, isn't it? That's frustrating. We want to make sure that when we do these things that they have meaning.
Okay. Now, just this morning you've accused the government of a huge spendathon, yet in recent weeks you've matched or even in some instances bettered what Labor is doing when it comes to spending. So can you be trusted when it comes to fiscal responsibility?
Pete, this week you will see the coalition parties' costings writ large, and you will see that we have delivered savings. We will deliver a much better bottom line than Labor would. In fact, Labor have spent an eye-watering $10 million every hour just since the last time we saw the books only a few weeks ago. This, of course, is going to fuel inflation further, and the IMF have really belled the cat on this one. They've made forecasts that suggest that inflation will be much higher than Labor have forecasted and that growth will be much slower. At a time when we are in very economic uncertain times, when our geostrategic and global circumstances are also uncertain, this is not the time to have a great big spendathon of $10 million per hour. That is eye-watering. It puts Australia's economic resilience
But your spending's up there too,
That's
the point,
not something that you will see under a Dutton-led coalition government. Well, we will return our fiscal costings later this week, and you will see a much better bottom line than Labor's. We will return savings, not just spendings.
Okay. So Labor wants today to warn voters that the coalition is going to pose a risk to the pension, not just the pension though, but rent assistance as well. Are those items at risk?
No. In fact, I cannot believe what another scare campaign coming from Labor. When you run out of ideas, you simply try and start these scare campaigns. We've said that we'll deliver the essential services that Australians expect and deserve. We've said that there is no risk to pensions. There is no risk to rent assistance. This is a nonsense. This is just another round of Medi-Scare. Labor have simply run out of ideas, and so they try and start these scare campaigns. All I can assure your viewers is that a Dutton-led coalition government will manage the economy sensibly, that we will get inflation down in a sustainable way, we will bring down the cost of energy, and we will deliver a better bottom line for all Australians, building that economic resilience that we need, because economic resilience is necessary for national security.
All right, just so I'm consistent as well, and a final note here, Jane, one more on polls. I know I ask you about this every week, but we've got a final one in News Poll today. It shows that there's not much of a change when it comes to things from a week ago or the week before that, but look, we've got only a week to go before polling day. You're not making ground. Are you concerned about what that means?
Pete, I haven't discussed polls with you for a year. I'm not going to start the week before the election. A Dutton-led coalition government is focused on what's important to ordinary Australians, bringing down the cost of living sustainably, getting inflation down, managing the economy in a sensible and professional way, making sure we bring down the cost of energy, deliver cheaper mortgages, homes for all Australians, quality healthcare and safer communities. That's the commitment of a Dutton-led coalition government. It has been from the beginning, and it will be right up to election day.
All right, we will leave it there. Jane Hume, Shadow Finance Minister, good to have you with us this morning. Thank you. We'll chat to you again soon.